Greetings, travelers. Welcome to Lorespire. Larian has announced patch 8 for Baldur's Gate 3, and it is a doozy. There is stuff in here that players have been asking for since before this channel was even created 3+ years ago. So let's go ahead and jump into it and see what it's all about. Now, these first few paragraphs here are just, whatever, niceties. We're going to skip past that to the meat and potatoes. And first here we have crossplay. So yes, PS5 players, Mac players, Xbox players, PC players, they can all play together cross-platform after patch 8 comes out. All right, you can see here there is an image of the new crossplay tab. Whenever you're inviting players to join you, you just enable crossplay here, and then you should be able to invite players who are on console or Mac or wherever to join your playthrough. So that is pretty awesome. I know that a lot of people have been looking forward to that for a long time. Looks like it's finally going to be here. Also, Baldur's Gate 3 is currently on sale for 20% off. If somehow you have not bought it already, go get it. It's at a discount right now. Anyways, next, there are 12, that's right, 12 new subclasses, one new subclass for each of the existing classes. All right, there's going to be new abilities, animations, visual effects, summons, cantrips, unique voice dialogue lines for the Oathbreaker Knight with written reactivity for Oathbreakers, along with a touch of homebrewing on certain actions to enhance your role-playing experience. Okay, so this is actually really, really, really consequential, really, really awesome. They're not just adding 12 new classes, they're also adding some new role-play elements, some new dialogue and stuff. This right here, most studios would charge you probably like $20 for this as a DLC or something. And here we are getting it for free from Larian. Freaking awesome, amazing. Love Larian, right? Okay, let's go through the 12 classes here real quick, or subclasses rather. Some of them, well, all of them are great in their own ways. There are two of them that I think are especially great and head and shoulders above the others. But let's just go ahead and take a look at all of them. First of all, we have a College of Glamour Bard. As a College of Glamour Bard, you'll find you have the power to heal friends and command enemies in equal measure. Cast Mantle of Inspiration to bestow your allies with 5 temporary hit points. And should an enemy attack while it is cast, they'll find themselves charmed. Play your hand correctly, and you'll be able to use this to your advantage with Mantle of Majesty. Target charmed enemies, and you can command them to flee, move closer, freeze, drop to the ground, or drop their weapons. Sounds cool, sounds fun, sounds effective. Next, we have Barbarian Path of Giants. This one I think is really great. It's definitely not one. It's one of my favorites. I don't think it's going to be one of the best. It's not like my top favorite. It's probably like my third or fourth favorite. But anyways, Path of Giants Barbarian. Opt for the Path of Giants, and your newfound giant strength will make it easier for you to yeet friend and foe alike. Forget chugging potions to pump those muscles. These barbarians benefit from the Giant's Rage passive that grants both strength and size, allowing you to deal additional damage with throw attacks. Barbarians were already really freaking great with throw attacks, and here's an even better option for them. Anyways, Cleric Death Domain. This is one of my top 2. Freaking phenomenal. Freaking love this. As a Cleric of Death, you'll find a few dark new tricks up your sleeves. From spells that specialize in necrotic damage to 3 new necromancy cantrips. This includes Toll of the Dead, a cantrip that causes 1 to 8 damage when your cleric rings the bell of impending doom, a number that scales if your target has already been damaged. We've also added the homebrewed ability to explode nearby corpses. That's right, explode nearby corpses. Oh, I freaking love that. I love it. I love it. Damaging enemies, of course. So yeah, new cantrips that are probably more reliable for damage than what they already had, I would say. And the ability to explode nearby corpses. Oh, freaking awesome. I love it. Feel like that's going to be a really solid option and possibly the best or one of the best of these new subclasses. Now, Druid's not really my favorite class, But when and if I play a druid again, I would definitely be playing a Circle of Stars druid, the new druid subclass. All right, what they can do here just sounds phenomenal and awesome, and I'm looking forward to it. Anyways, these druids look to the stars for answers, accessing powers beyond those offered through the classic wild shapes, taking on the taking on one of three starry forms for their power, the constellations of the Archer, Chalice, and Dragon. Each one favors a different playstyle and strategy, so that's really cool. You're taking on the forms of constellations instead of, the classic wild shapes. That's a really cool twist. And I really like having an archer option for druids. That's really cool. Chalice and Dragon, also awesome. Once we get to them here, now I'll shut up and continue on. Each one favors a different playstyle and strategy. The Archer dealing radiant damage with astral arrows. The life-giving Chalice restoring hit points to you and others nearby. And the Wise Dragon, allowing you to deal damage with an added bonus to Constitution rolls. The starry forms offer not just a celestial aesthetic, but practical, powerful options to enhance your role as a healer, fighter, or strategist. All right, so sounds really, really flexible. Uh, awesome to have a ranged option, a healing option, and then the dragon option. Seems like it would possibly be the coolest. A nice little bonus to Constitution and allowing you to deal additional damage. Which is always nice. It looks pretty cool there. You can see them kind of like summoning a constellation overhead to cast spells or abilities. Next, we have Paladin Oath of the Crown. You've been sworn to uphold the principles of law. Stay true to the excuse me. Stay true to your oath and you'll be rewarded with the power to aid your allies and disrupt your foes. Guide your companions in battle with righteous clarity. Taunt enemies with strategic interrupts and keep your party standing strong with divine allegiance, absorbing their damage while restoring their health. Sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty interesting. Fighter Arcane Archer. All right, here we go. Here we go. This one right here is probably my third favorite. Um, Fighter Arcane Archer, mastering the dual arts of magic and marksmanship. The Arcane Archer subclass offers unique skills on top of new shooting animations. Banish foes to the Feywild, removing them from the battlefield for a turn, or unleash psychic damage that forces enemies to make a wisdom saving throw or be blinded until the start of their next turn. So yeah, a ranged option for a fighter is really cool. Giving a fighter another arcane option, also cool. And combining those two together, super cool. Love it. If I play a fighter again, it will definitely be an arcane archer. Now we have Monk, Drunken Master. Okay, this was just a little bit memeish, but if you like monks or you like drunks or you like both, this one should be pretty good. Putting the brew in homebrew. As the Drunken Master, you have the ability to consume alcohol straight from your inventory, as well as drink from bottles you see around the Sword Coast, in order to recover ki. Yep, just random bottles of alcohol. Yep, I see it, I'm chugging it. Doesn't matter if it's 30 years old and it's been open for half that time. Anyways, by sharing the bottle with your enemies using Intoxicating Strike, you'll generate a buff towards your armor class and your chance to hit drunk targets. Drunk enemies are also susceptible to the Drunken Master's other abilities, like Sobering Realization, which sobers up drunk targets, dealing physical and psychic damage. Ranger Swarm Keeper. Now, this one sounds awesome. I don't know. I guess it's my fifth since I already gave two classes my third and fourth. But yeah, definitely awesome. Ranger Swarm Keeper. Looking forward to this one. The Swarm Keeper subclass provides Rangers with three kinds of deadly swarms to assist them in combat. The Cloud of Jellyfish deals extra lightning damage, potentially shocking your enemy. The Flurry of Moths deals psychic damage, giving you the potential to blind your enemy. The Legion of Bees deals piercing damage and forces the enemy to make a strength saving throw or be knocked back 15 feet. Each swarm has the ability to provide you with teleportation capabilities. Now, the teleportation thing, not sure how that'll work. I would imagine it teleports you into wherever the swarm's at, or possibly you switch places with the swarm, not sure. Teleportation is very powerful, though. The other abilities that are offered here, um, I mean, the potential to blind is really powerful. The potential to knock enemies back 15 feet, also pretty powerful. Um, it would just depend on how often those things actually occur as to how powerful this is. To be honest, I don't expect this class to be super powerful or subclass. I just expect it to be pretty cool, pretty fun. Anyways, next up we have Rogue Swashbuckler. This rogue subclass introduces a range of new actions fit for the piratical life, yes, the life of a pirate. Play dirty by tossing sand at enemies to blind them, flick your weapon at a target to disarm them, or use your new fancy footwork passive while meleeing your enemy to ensure that they can't make opportunity attacks against you for the rest of your turn. Okay, now I heard that this subclass is actually supposed to be really good in 5th edition. I got to say they make it sound a little bit lackluster to me here. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Now, here we go. Along with the Death Cleric, the Sorcerer Shadow Magic. Yes, Shadow Magic Sorcerer is my next favorite. And will almost certainly, probably, most likely be the next character that I play once patch 8 comes out. All right, my one and only 5th edition character was a Shadow Magic Sorcerer. So yeah, just something I actually didn't get to really play that character, but I did create it. Had this awesome backstory as a first Neblin, had this whole thing. Anyways, it was really cool. Um, Looking forward to playing this for sure. Possibly in a solo or honor mode. I figure, yeah, maybe I have another one of those in me. Solo or honor mode playthrough as a shadow magic sorcerer. Anyways, as a shadow magic sorcerer, you deal in a form of magic that makes you deadliest in darkness. This subclass gives its sorcerer superior dark vision, as well as the ability to shadow walk between places of dim light or darkness. It also lets you call forth the perfectly homebrewed Hound of Ill Omen to harass your foes and use Strength of the Grave to prevent you from being downed. Ideal for those attempting honor mode runs. Yeah, Strength of the Grave sounds amazing. Shadow Walk, super amazing. Hound of Ill Omen, I'm not sure how good it is, but it looks freaking badass. Look at it. Yeah. Yes, please. All right, and last here, or excuse me, second to last, not quite last, but Warlock Hexblade, which, at least for me, to my knowledge, this is the subclass that it has been on players' wish lists for the longest. At least it's the first one that I remember reading about players wanting and asking for, years ago whenever the game was in early access. And it's finally here, a Hexblade Warlock. Hexblade Warlocks make a pact with an entity from the Shadowfell that manifests in the form of magical weapons. Curse your enemies and force their souls to do your bidding. Slay any enemy that isn't generally an element of nature, construct, giant blob, or already dead, and you'll be able to raise their spirit from their corpse for 10 turns. This new summon can deal necrotic damage and will rip away a chunk of your enemy's soul to provide your Hexblade Warlock with healing. Definitely sounds cool. I know that's going to be a fan favorite, probably the favorite of these 12 for most people, or at least for a lot. Wizard Blade Singing. The Blade Singing subclass merges swordplay with wizardry. Expect new spellcasting animations when casting spells with your weapon. A new Blade Song ability to grant you supernatural speed, agility, and focus, plus gives you a bonus to any constitution saving throws you make. Okay, now they don't give you a whole lot there to work with, but casting spells with your sword sounds really, really cool. Um, and an ability that grants you supernatural speed, agility, and focus, and gives you a bonus to your Constitution saving throws also sounds really freaking awesome. And then look at that. That is just a bad freaking ass like animation. That is really cool. Anyways, so those are your 12 subclasses. Freaking awesome. It's probably the most exciting thing here for at least a lot of people. But the photo mode here, with what they're doing with it, it's freaking crazy. I think it could be the most consequential, or at least the thing that brings in the most new players, just because of the potential this has to spread pictures and hype up the game, even a year plus after it's been released. Um, Anyways, yeah, this is pretty ambitious, pretty good stuff. Finally, you can stop using pictures of fish you've caught on your dating profile and start snapping photos with your Hound of Ill Omen. Photo mode is coming to Baldur's Gate 3 in patch 8. Baldur's Gate 3's photo mode is a little like a photo booth that lets you set up pretty much any shot you'd like. All right, let's get to the actual meat and potatoes here. Sorry. So first here we have camera settings toggleable from the HUD, located near the minimap or by using the hotkey binding F9 on PC and by pressing both analog sticks at the same time on console. You'll get to choose which character you want to take center stage, determine their best side, and adjust the camera position to suit. As long as they're in your party while you're adventuring, you'll be able to line up your scene perfectly, including summons and those in a wild shape. For all budding virtual photographers, you can also turn on the camera reticle and composition grid to make sure you're lining up the perfect shot. Okay, sound pretty awesome. Well, it gets way awesomer than that as you continue. Lens settings determined determine the angle of sorted excuse me, determine the angle and sorted the positioning. You'll be able to jump over to the lens settings where you can play around with field of view, exposure, depth of field, and focus. All right, you're going to be able to set them in all these positions and zoom and do all this crazy stuff. Yeah, you're going to be able to get some truly fantastic shots that just haven't been possible up till now. Scene settings. NPC ruining your shot, toggle off either playing, party, NPC, or enemy characters. Yeah, that's right. You can just hit a button and all the other characters in your party are gone, or all the NPCs are gone. So yeah, nothing screws up your shots anymore. That is pretty awesome. So now you're ready for your close-up. If you're feeling creative, set the scene for a full-on Faerun musical. Choose a set of facial expressions. Yeah, that's right. You get to choose facial expressions for your character, plus a range of over 40 static and animated poses, each with multiple variations to help give you the perfect layout. So yeah, all this kind of craziness, and then they got to take it one step further with this craziness. Oh wait, no, not this one. The one after this one. Anyways, internal playtesting for patch 8 is already well underway, and we wanted to highlight just a couple of the great shots our playtesters have been grabbing using photo mode and how they've chosen to edit them. So they have post-processing effects. While you won't be able to adjust your party or play around with lens and camera settings during cinematic scenes and dialogues, you'll be able to color grade your shot and experiment with contrast, saturation, highlights, brightness, and vignette. Okay, frames. Add flair to your cutscene with a range of different frames and letterboxing to nail those cinematic shots. All right, so you're not going to have the full range of options for cutscenes, but there are still going to be options to make cutscenes even more awesome, at least as far as taking photos of them goes. And here's the last bit of craziness. They're giving us frickin' stickers. Frickin' stickers to put on our photos after we take the photos. So you can choose from over 300 stickers and add up to 30. So 30, you have 300 to pick from, and you can put 30 of those 300 into your scene, including emojis, icons, blood splatters, textures, objects, and items, and of course, cat ears, of course, because everything needs cat ears. Um, but yeah, you can see just a little sample of the silliness. I can't even imagine what silliness we'll get once, millions of people are playing around with this. But there it is. There it is. You can add stickers as an after effect. And in your hand soon, you'll be able to take a role play to the next level with unique combinations of poses, stickers, and frames. We can't wait to see what absolute nightmare fuel you come up with. Yes, I'm sure there will be much of that fueling the nightmares with yeah, sexy threesomes between a lizard, a person, and a skeleton. Good stuff. Good stuff. Anyways, now here's very important tidbit of information. Patch 8 stress test. Okay, with your feedback and support, our last patch brought some big changes to the game with just 2 bug fixing hot fixes post-release. That's a win in our books, and we're looking to do the same for patch 8, so let's talk stress testing. What are we stress testing? This time you're invited to join us for a period of stress testing where you can jump in and out, uh, where you can jump in and try out new subclasses, explore tabs' best angles in photo mode, and play with friends together on other platforms. Yep, this stress test will be available to those on Xbox and PlayStation as well as PC. So why do we need to stress test past? Basically, everything that we just talked about, you're going to be able to do in early January. All right, that's whenever they're planning on starting the stress test, and everybody who wants to, I believe, should be able to take part. So the goal is to go beyond our internal testing and help us catch things before they become an issue once a patch has been released. Along with all of the newness coming in patch 8, we'll also be integrating a large selection of bug fixes and polishing up cinematics, including ensuring Shadowheart's hair dye no longer washes away when she takes a dip with her romantic partner. We'll be sharing more on what's been fixed in a future update. So this test, when does the stress test begin? We're looking to begin testing in early January, and you'll have the opportunity to register with your interest before then. Things will be done a little differently this time around, so we'll be back with Community Update 31 to take you through what's being tested and how you can take part. All right. So that's it. I mean, that's pretty much everything. Patch 8 is coming, and we should be able to play it at least in stress test mode as early as early January. So 5, 6, 7 weeks, something like that. Some really great, interesting stuff here. It looks like I might be starting my next Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough. And yeah, hopefully y'all be able to join me because I'll almost certainly be streaming it if I do. Anyways, let me know what you thought down in the comments section. Like and subscribe. And this has been Chris with Lorespire. Be well, my friends.